Welcome back to Talking Time. So, I haven't posted in a while because I've had some different stuff going on. This whole 2022 has been such a horrible year. Last month my dog died. We had him for, I think, 11 years. Best little guy ever, but I've also had some different stuff going on with family members and just some different health issues with different members of my family. But at least I'm getting time to do this. So I've got time to do it, so I will. Well, this is it's a Jean Cardot pocket watch. It's Russian. But it was made in the 70s, or the 60s, I believe. And it is running. I serviced it once before, but for some reason it's not wanting to work right. So, without further ado, let's get started. So, it's a 17 jewel Russian pocket watch. I have nothing against Russian-made products. Watches haven't done anything wrong. So, that's what I'm focused on. Let's start with taking off the winding gear. And I remember what the screws are, so I'm not too worried about remembering. I am actually quite familiar with this movement. And like some of my previous videos, this is going to be in a two-part seminar, so to speak. And I've been doing quite a bit of thinking, and to make these videos a bit more educational, I'm going to start talking about the technique that I use for them. Because I was watching quite a lot of videos of this over the different breaks from school. And most of the people that do these only explain what the parts are. But the thing that they don't explain is the techniques they use to get them apart correctly and not break them. So after some of these videos, this will be in 3 parts. I am going to do some more of the educational ones. I've always liked working on these pocket watches. Oh, come on. There we are. And I actually prefer to use the case it comes in as the movement holder. And I am taking customer job. Just so that if anyone wants to know, I do. And there's the first of 3 plates. The barrel arbor port is worn, but I don't have a jewel to fix this particular one. So, that'll have to be that way. It runs fine, but let's see. Not too bad. Dirty, but not rusted. Okay, so now the fun part. I'm gonna have to very carefully perfect. Just like that, the stem comes out. And the winding gears. And then this actually is a front loader. So what we're going to have to do is, where's the seam? Right here. Oh. Here it is. It's just very gently pry. There we are. I like to use the case back and the glass. Here's the case. Disassembled. I'll put this through the sonic. But now the fun part begins, which is, where'd you go? Okay. But the fun part is just beginning. Put that like so. There we are. And then something that not many people prefer to do, but I do just because I think it's safer for the hands, is I like to take the hand off, the second's hand off, with the dials that comes out. That's just something I've always done. So that, let's see. There we are. And, come on. There we go. And I'll just put this in the glass, set it aside. And now the minute wheel. Still has the warpy washer, surprisingly. Most of these don't. And then something I like to do is, like I've mentioned previously, unless you're someone that has not necessarily a lot of money, but unless you're someone that is very particular about getting the cannon pinion remover, the hand removers work just as well. And they're $5. And what I prefer to do is, just because this is so finicky to get this stuff realigned, I can barely take a screw off and everything will pop out and I can't find it, even if I have something protecting it. It took me about 2 hours just to get this keyless works aligned properly. So most likely I'll just leave it when it's being cleaned. So now I'll take the movement holder that I like to use. Come on, here we are. Set that just a little bit back so nothing happens to it. And one thing that I like to do, preferably, is I like to take the train of wheels mostly apart. The bridge and the cannon pinion, and then the outer wheel. But then I'll take the balance off. Because if you take everything off the top of it, it just comes off and back, instead of having to worry about damaging it. Just trying to get it so you guys can see it. And the escape wheel has its own bridge and jewel. One, two, and three. Very gentle. And here's the main plate. Okay, yeah, you can see all that gunked up oil. Yeah, you can see it dried. When this is cleaned, it'll run better than new, I believe. Let's get that outer wheel. Let's see how that looks. Pretty clean, actually. Now let's get... Perfect. Not rusty, just needs cleaned. Let's see. Pretty clean, actually. That top pivot's a bit dirty. And let's see. I'll take that a bit. Okay. Now the fun part. Not sarcastically. But my favorite part's always taking the escape wheel out. And with this one, it's a bit more tricky because it's got the set screw. Let's take that out. Escape wheel, pretty clean. And now, the balance. A lot of pollen where we are. It just rained quite a bit the other day. So, the allergies are pretty rough this morning. But, at least there was some rain. Okay. There we are. Very gentle. Very gentle. Perfect. And there is one thing that I make a rule, just because it's a lot easier, is leave the pallet fork screws in a different container. Just because they're much more difficult to find than all of the others. Okay. Perfect. There's one. There's two. And whoa. That was magnetized. Good to know. Very good to know. So, put that there. What I prefer to use to clean this is just Dawn dish soap and warm water. For the gears and plates, but for the pallet fork, you've got to be very careful. Because if you see this yellow stuff, that's shellac. And if you get it in alcohol, it dissolves that. And unless you have the proper tools to reset them, and I've done this before, I'm much more careful now, but before I really knew anything about watch repair, I would let it sit for a couple hours. So, just be very careful. But it still needs cleaned. And I'll put this right here so it doesn't get damaged in here. And let me see. Oh, and come on. Okay, and I need one screw. Now, it's funny. The first screw that I had picked up was for the case clamp. That's funny right there. That's funny right there. Okay. Come. It's an ever fun process trying to put the screw in delicately. Come on. And we're done for video number 1. And I'll just take a look at the movement itself. And see what we're up against cleaning wise. So, come on. So the good thing is that there's no visible rust, but there is one thing that does concern me. Look at that balance wheel go. Perfection. But there is one thing that does concern me, is the dial screws are a bit rusty. So I got some evaporust. I'll put that in. And it'll be good as new. And one thing I will do before is I will tighten this screw so it doesn't come out in the wash. That's the last thing I'd need, is to spend a couple hours fishing it out in the wash. Thing would be like trying to catch a sardine in the San Luis Reservoir. Well, that's it for today. And I'll finish doing the next couple videos and I'll post them and we'll have this back and running. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you want to. I'd really appreciate it if you did, because it keeps encouraging me to keep doing my best. And thank you for watching, and I'll talk to you next time. Bye.